I'm here with Michael Venom Page, MVP, first fight in the UFC. Now, before we get started, as an Aussie, I need to ask you, we were devastated when Volkanovski got knocked out recently. What was your reaction to the Volkanovski knockout?
Yeah, again, it's the same kind of thing. I'm a big fan of him, so I was definitely wanting to see him win, wanting to see him come back. I think it was way too quickly for him to come back to the cage, especially after being knocked out previously. It doesn't leave you too much room to recover and have a camp properly. You can't spar as quickly as you will need to prep for the next fight. So I definitely feel like he kind of came back or rushed to come back, and sometimes eager to just prove that everything's fine. I'm back. I think that's a bit of a mistake. So I think his team should have just kind of pulled him back on that one, and then given him time to really prepare for a fight. But he'll be back.
You're right, he did want to stay active. If you were Volkanovski, what would you do next?
Again, give yourself some actual time off. Don't rush back. No one's gonna, and as fickle as the crowd can be, no one's gonna change their opinion on how amazing and how elite of an athlete he is and how great he's been in the UFC. So just give yourself a little bit of time, recover properly, and then get back into a proper training camp. Prepare exactly how you need to, and then come back and you'll do your thing.
Speaking of your upcoming fight, you're a Bellator legend. Bellator versus the UFC, what do you think the main differences are?
I think it's just I'd say more so just the professional side of it in the background. You see there's more, even like here, there's so much more people on the ground, whereas the Bellator team's a smaller team. With production and trying to build stars, you need as many people on the ground as possible helping. But I think that's the two key differences. In terms of athletes, we all take away the actual brand names. All of us spar and train together all the time. There's guys that's not in Bellator, not in the UFC, that are headaches to deal with in the gym, and they're up and coming, and they're coming through.
You think the fighters are just as good as each other in each promotion?
100%. Obviously, the occasion forces people to elevate themselves and lift and rise to the occasion. And obviously, having to fight at such big occasions definitely helps with, how good you are gonna be in general, or just your maintenance of how good you are. But in general, MMA is a sport. All of us can. We have good days, bad days. We're all human, so it doesn't really matter too much.
You've also mentioned the gloves previously. How much difference is the gloves?
Yeah, obviously, we had the older gloves that we used when I first kind of got to Bellator. They adjusted. And they actually adjusted it because of eye pokes, so it's not slightly more curved, which is your kind of natural hand position. And in all honesty, the gloves that I wore, because we were doing promotion for it, they literally took out the wrapper and gave it to me. So they're like
fresh gloves.
Fresh
it's
gloves.
Like a fresh ball in cricket. You'd know as Englishmen. Yeah.
So I feel like it needed to be, worn in a little bit more before I actually put my hand into it. But obviously, again, it's more promotional. So I'm going to try it again soon to see how I feel about it. But so far, they're losing on the gloves part.
Okay. You need to punch some heads in first and get it nice and ready. UFC fans made jokes about old man Volk. He was 35 going into his fight. You're 36 going into your fight. What do you want to say to people that think you may have left the UFC run too late?
Well, we'll find out very soon. When I get in there, I just got to go and do me. But I always said that I'll stop competing when, I'm struggling in the preparation for a fight. If I'm getting destroyed by everybody in the gym, and I'm not able to hit the same scores that I normally hit, and I'm not able to do the same runs and all the different things that we have to do, then I stop. But right now I'm still comfortably doing it, still pushing myself just as hard, still giving everybody trouble in the gym. So I feel great. Age is just a number.
I have an x-ray here. This is an x-ray of a fractured skull after you gave a man a flying knee to the head. Should Kevin Holland be worried about any flying knees this weekend?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's definitely something that's in my repertoire, but he should be worried about everything else as well. I bring more than just a flying knee. It's the reason I was able to even land a shot like that is because of my timing. I think most importantly, my timing in every aspect is very, very dangerous.
Your timing is impeccable. Then after the flying knee, after the fractured skull, you threw a Pokemon ball in his direction. You caught him. Are we going to see any celebrations in the octagon after you win this weekend?
That's just part of MVP, man. That's just part of the character. That's part of what I bring to the cage, what I bring to the occasion is a whole show. It's not just about the fight. I like to make it more than just about the fight and really gives something for the fans to enjoy.
Dana White has teased UFC returning to England. It might be a quick turnaround, but what are the chances of you being on the UFC England card?
Like I say, it just depends on, when it lands. One place I actually want to fight in, and he's Dana White's mentioned already, is Vegas in the Sphere, and that's I believe in September. So after that, this fight, if all goes according to plan, I think that's perfect amount of time for me to recover if I need to recover, and then get back in. But at the same time, if it is a quick fight, and I've been known to do those as well, then potentially, I can slot in between that as well. So, yeah, it just depends.
So you'd like to see the Sphere. UFC Manchester is rumoured to be around June. Do you think you'd be able to turn around quickly enough to get on those cards?
Like I said, I've been known to have like those quick fights. So, for example, my last fight, 26 seconds. So, didn't last too long, and I was definitely capable of coming back the following week, let alone a few months later. So, yeah, let's see what happens in this fight, and then we make decisions after that.
Do you find you have that issue regularly, not lasting too long?
Nah, definitely not. Definitely not. I see where you're going.
MVP, we're in Miami. What's been your favourite thing about Miami?
To be fair, I got family here, so I come here quite regularly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. This is not a new space for me. I know it very, very well.
So you're familiar with the beaches, the nightclubs?
Yeah. I love the gun ranges, all that kind of stuff. I kind of embrace the culture over here.
For the main event, you're fighting on quite a stacked card, probably one of the most stacked card of the year. Cheeto Vera versus Sean O'Malley. What's your main event prediction?
I'm giving it to O'Malley. I think he's just gone from strength to strength. Similar to myself with regards to timing. His timing is unbelievable. And if you watch, even in that last fight that where he got the belt, and that counter punch that he landed, watching that in slow motion shows you how well someone's timing is, because he didn't even blink. There's a punch coming towards him. It drops just shy of him. He hasn't blinked. He knew he's just out of range. Perfect timing to land that shot over the top. And that's what is so dangerous about him. So yeah, I definitely give it to him.
Tony Ferguson had David Goggins in his corner. Volkanovski had Mark Zuckerberg doing nothing in his corner. If you had to choose one celebrity, who would you have in your corner?
Yeah. None of them will be in my corner.
None of them?
Nah,
No.
none of them. They can sit on the side, cheer me on, but they're not supposed to be in my corner.
You want professionals in your corner?
I want people that are going to help me through a fight. If I'm struggling, I'm down in a fight, and I'm looking up, and I don't know, Drake's in my corner, what the hell are you going to do for me?
No.
So
Is he gonna sing to you?
you probably start singing,
Yeah.
So I get the appeal of having certain people in the corner, but for me, stay on the sideline and enjoy the show.
The BMF title is being fought for on UFC 300. Justin Gaethje holds the title right now. Do you think whoever holds that title is the baddest motherfucker in the UFC?
Yeah, it's a gimmick. Yeah, it's a gimmick, bro. It's somebody's started it, and people are trying to run with it, and I get it. It's pretty fun, but nah, you're not.
In your opinion, who do you think is the baddest motherfucker in the UFC?
Well, I've just stepped in. I'm here. We're here now. So that's your answer, MVP.
MVP. So Kevin Holland's going to find out who the BMF is.
100%.